For the next and many meetings that we shall have through this channel, you probably will hear me speaking about Osho, or in my continuation of sharing with you this word of Osho will appear. So I would like from the very beginning to bring what was truly for me more than 50 years ago. What happened in meeting Osho? Because it was not just a one-time experience. Today, I can tell you that it was like, just imagine this moment when sunrise and sunset happen at the same time. It's a process. It's a never-ending experience. Sunrise goes moment to moment to moment. And I identify it with the birth of the new. Sunset, also, it's another process that is happening at the same time. But it's the death of the old. And this is what started happening the moment that I met Osho. And it continued until at some point the process of rebirth and the process of death just exploded in one single event. I even remember, and maybe one day I tell you about, when it was really, when did it happen, this atomic explosion of energy, blissful, painful, like the pain of death and the bliss of birth. It all happened. But before we arrive there, let me say, how did a young guy, so I was, full of dreams, full of wanting to travel every place in every corner of the world, feel that I had arrived home, as I in fact told Osho the first time that I had the opportunity to talk to him, when actually Prashantam was born. It was when I heard Osho saying in one of his courses, the message of be yourself. It feels as if I'm still resonating in that, hearing that voice. And if you want, then use my techniques. Those are the bridges that may help you through your search. So that was the process of my sunrise, of my rebirth. And at the same time, there was the other process of sunset, of death, of letting go of my identifications, of my attachments, of my illusions. And both were like a dance where you move from one to the other, from ecstasy to agony, from total joy to deep pains. A process of maturity, of inner growth that happened within my individuality, within my inner world. Fortunately, supported by the presence of other human beings, other friends, each one of them, both men and women, in their own way, in the same search. And as the process continued, there came another inspiration when I heard him saying, the greatest gift is the gift of knowing yourself. These were like landmarks, you know, like stars in my own sky that pointed, that gave a motivation to my own search. One does not know what is what is the experience of a relationship from a disciple to a master. It does not belong to our educations. Everything that relates to masterhood, to teachers, it's usually integrated in a process of education, of religious conditionings, so on and so forth. But the relationship between a disciple and a master is unique. Yes, it's a lover's relationship in which the master does not need the disciples. It's the disciple that needs the master. And this relationship is like, you know, we know this metaphor of the butterfly that dances around the candlelight. And then will come a moment when it just dives, it jumps into the light, into that flame, and it dies. Yes, I relate to this metaphor. I could say in my own words that some similar process is what truly happened. Today, all the steps, all the situations, both in space and time, that had to happen seem irrelevant. I look backwards and it feels like it was only a drop of the ocean when you feel that how blissful it is to be floating in the ocean. There's no more swimming. There's no more waves. Yes, you still play and dance and cry and hug. And yes, you are a very ordinary human being. And yet, that anxiety, the tension that we provoke when you create a special goal, a search that is necessary, it keeps you alive, it makes you feel that nothing is more important in your existence, and then one day you have to let go of that one too. And this letting go, it's only when you remember that at the end, the nothingness, that non-personalized love that exists from the disciple to the master will continue. Today it has the flavor of gratitude, flavor of the one who was blessed to touch the feet of the master. Today there has been a sense that the sun will never disappear. The sun is always there, but it has now that quality that you feel it in your heart, and it will stay with you until the body will eventually stop breathing. The relationship disciple-master is a one-sided relationship. Thank you, Osho, that you only loved me. There was nothing else. No pressure, no expectations, no dogmas. The freedom of leaving me alone. Only the Master has such a dimension.